7-11th. It's 7-11th birthday. That's what I was going to say. I first want to talk about something that happened yesterday that I didn't really elaborate on because mostly Jared and I wanted to have a good time and I didn't want to think about it again. But now that it's happened, it's something that I want to remember that had happened, just so that way it's kind of like a warning for future Dani. I mentioned it very briefly. Yesterday I had a panic anxiety attack, and I'm not trying to, again, like I said, I'm not trying to make a big deal out of this to get views or anything. This is just to remind myself and also kind of let everyone know the status of me at the moment. So as you all know, if you've been watching my vlogs, you know that I've been having a kind of rough time this year. I don't know if that's just from living with Jared or if it's from working at the Great Movie Ride, because the Great Movie Ride's been really hard on me. Or if it's just maybe growing up and adulting, and this is something that's going to be a thing for me now. I also have a friend who suffers from anxiety who works with me at the Great Movie Ride, so I've heard her horror stories. And I also, one of my favorite YouTubers, Zoella, also suffers from anxiety, and she talks about it all the time. Just like it's something that she suffers with, type of a thing. And so it's not like it's something that I haven't heard of before. Now, I'm not saying that mine was a big deal or anything. It's just one of those things where it's like, hey, I just want to let you know this happened, future Dani. So it was really weird because I was absolutely fine. So we had some time before our Haunted Mansion Fast Pass started. So we hung out in Memento Mori. Everything was chill. Everything was good to go. I had something in my eye, that's why I took my glasses off. I still do, but I need to see where I'm going. And everything was absolutely fine. And so we got our Fast Pass, or used our Fast Pass, got into, zoomed through the Fast Pass line at a really decent time, and got into the Haunted Mansion, the mansion itself. Then we got into the fireplace room, and there was lots of space, wasn't too crowded or crammed or anything. Wow, there is a limo going in to Saratoga Springs. It's an SUV limo. Anyway, so then we got into the elevator room, and this is where things started to go downhill. Jared had mentioned, he's like, oh no, we're going to be stuck with the tour group. And I was like, what? So this is tour group season. And for, rough kind of 101 tour groups, typically they're Brazilian tour groups. Typically they're young teens. Typically they're girls, specifically for their 15 quinceañera. They all wear 15s on their shirts and everything. And I have no issues with tour groups. I have issues with a lot of young unsupervised teens, which typically that's what it is, and most of the time they don't speak very much Spanish, and so they're kind of in their own little world. And it's not their fault they don't speak Spanish, or it's supposed to speak English is what I meant. It's not their fault they don't speak English. It's not their fault that they're in a strange place. And I'm not blaming them for being excited. I'm blaming the adults who are letting them run free and unsupervised in a strange place. Anyway, so a large group of girls come in to this small little crammed room, and they're all excited. And if you've ever been around a young teenage girl on the Haunted Mansion, you know that involves screaming. So they started to squeal and everything, and I started to very slowly get a headache because that room doesn't really, it keeps all the sound in. And so I was kind of getting, not really claustrophobic, literally I just kind of huddled to Jared and just pretended that they weren't there. And then when it came time at the end with the hanging man, they all screamed, and I plugged my ears expecting them to scream. And I just kind of looked at the mom that was next to me, who was not part of the tour group, and we all just went, so then Jared and I quickly located the door, leading into the queue line room. And I was like, go, 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 because I wanted to get in front of them. I wanted to get away from them, because they were right behind us. And somehow, amongst leaving that room and getting to the funnel part, they somehow managed to pass their way ahead of us to the point where we were right smack dab in between them. So basically, and on top of that, the majority of them linked arms, which was smart for them to keep each other together. Problem was, it was we're almost there, and then like they just kind of like appeared and they were all around us and there was nothing we could do. And this is when I started to get, I think it was like claustrophobic, because I'm glad I go this way because that road is closed again. The roads keep closing over here. Because like I was okay until it came time to going around that little curve, like right after you got put into a single file line. And I think it was because I realized that we were going to be stuck in between this tour group for the whole ride. And after experiencing them for a hot minute, screaming in a place that's supposed to be scary, I was like, this is not going to be an enjoyable experience. So yeah, I probably set myself up for failure in that sense. And doing the, oh dear God, there's no turning back at this point. Because it's not like, because at one point I was like, maybe we could just get them to go ahead of us and step out of the way. At that point, we were going so quickly that wasn't happening. Oh, okay, well, you're going to go ahead of me, man. We got in and we sat down, and literally as soon as we sat down and as soon as the bar came in, my heart started beating really quickly, because I definitely realized I'm going to be stuck on this. I don't know how long the ride is. I know it's probably less than 10 minutes, but I'm going to be stuck on this ride, you know, in this buggy, with screaming girls ahead of me and screaming girls behind me. And the thing is it's not like I could even, you know, like avoid, like I could just like focus on the ride, because the ride is supposed to be creepy. The ride is supposed to, you know, it's supposed to be the haunted mansion. And like I basically just like plugged my ears, because it echoes down that queue line, so or that down the ride. So you got all of these screaming young girls squealing and banging on each other's things and stuff like that to get reactions out of each other. And it was starting to get overwhelming because I could hear all of it as if they were like right next to us. So I plugged my ears, and then at one point, like once we got to the coffin with the guy trying to get out, like that was when I really started to like lose control. Really, I couldn't calm myself down anymore, because that's where right after that, I believe, is the doors, the knocking doors, I think, or right around there. And that scene itself was kind of overwhelming. I'm fine with the ride, mind you. I'm typically fine with the ride, but because I was so just like everything was getting to me, like that was just adding on top of it. So it came to the point where I literally couldn't even focus on the ride to calm myself down. The ride was adding to my anxiety. And so at one point I just had my ears, I'm stopped, so that's why I can do this. I was like this, and like looking down like through majority of the ride, because even thinking about it now, it's like, it makes me feel, I felt, the best way to describe it was I felt trapped, and that I was contained, and that everyone was like doing this, like all around me, like banging and making loud noises and screaming, and just like all around me. And I felt like there was nothing that I could do. And by the time I was finally able to calm myself down, because I just like closed my eyes and like took a really slow and deep breath to like just trying to calm myself down. And by the time I got to the graveyard, I had pretty much calmed down, but the graveyard is loud and there's things jumping all around you. So I just kind of kept my eyes tight at that point. And Jared turned and he looked at me, and I can go this way, right? Yeah. He looked at me and he grabbed my hand and I just squeezed it tightly. So that way, like, I had that feeling of like, okay, it's gonna be okay, he's here to kind of like bring me back to reality, that I wasn't by myself, because I felt like I was trapped. There were things all around me trying to just get my attention, and I felt alone. And all of those things and I felt like I couldn't control anything, and all of those things are things that people who have anxiety have told me that that's what it feels like. By the time we got to the 3 hitchhiking ghosts, Jared was really cute. He was like, oh look, my head's trying to come off. He was trying to grab my attention. But like, it wasn't until we got to the belt that's moving to get off. But like at this point, like I was already in tears, like, and literally like I just remembered, I don't know when I started to cry, but I think it was around the time when I realized that I was like it was right in the middle of the episode, I'm gonna call it, and I don't know, it's like I just realized that I was gonna be stuck here for a couple more minutes. But like afterwards, like I had, you know, tears going down my eyes. Like I wasn't like hyperventilating or anything, but it was just like you could tell that I was definitely upset. It's literally like, he was like, do you want to go on this ride? Do you want to go on that ride? I was like, I don't want to be in anywhere. I just want to walk around in a spacious area where there's not a whole lot of people around me. Like I just wanted to be, like, we walked around, luckily there wasn't a whole lot of people outside the Haunted Mansion. And I think we decided, if I remember correctly, we went and we decided to go to the circus and go get snacks. And then we stopped and sat for a little bit and charged our phones, because our phones were like dead at that point. But like, I was just like, I don't want anything near me. I was like, other than you. I don't want anything anywhere near me. Like, I want everything at arm's length or farther away, like 5 feet away from me. I want everything to be 5 feet away from me. I felt like someone like punched me in the back and in the chest. Like, I was so just like exhausted. It was horrible. 1, thought I was off at 5:30. I was off at 3. So yay. 2, you guys would be in shock at the amount of drama that opening an attraction or closing an attraction causes amongst cast members because of all of the shuffle of people and reorganizing of management and leadership and all this other stuff. It's ridiculous. Like, I just left the break room and there was a heated discussion about something stupid that a manager said, and I was just like, why? So I went to cross, because I had this little crosswalk for the march, and I went to cross because I saw an opening, and then the march passed, and I went to cross, and the cast members blocked the mob that was following the march, and they were like, you have to go left and right. So they instantly turned and just trampled me, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm home right now, and I've got my package that I ordered. I ordered something special for Mickey's Not So Scary for this year. It's kind of part of my costume, and I tried it on, and I'm really excited about it. But the funny thing is, so I ordered not just this costume piece for Mickey's Not So Scary. I also ordered 2 Tsum Tsums. I ordered a Sebastian Tsum Tsum and a Dumbo Tsum Tsum. Sebastian because he's the last one that I need, and then Dumbo because of the Tsum Tsum cartoons. Dumbo's like the photographer, and it's really cute. Anyway, so I opened up my first package, came with my costume piece, and then it also came with Dumbo wrapped in it. So I was like, cool. And I was like, the other package is kind of big too. I wonder, and Sebastian can't take up that much space. So I opened it up, and it was another costume. I'm calling it a costume piece because I won't tell you what it is yet. It was another costume piece and another Dumbo Tsum Tsum. And so, and it also had the order information. And so I looked at the order information, and all it had listed was the costume piece and a Dumbo Tsum Tsum. It didn't have Sebastian listed at all. So we went back and we looked at my order, and I was like, did I order 2 by accident? And then I was like, I know I ordered Sebastian. So we looked it up, and Jared did the math. I literally ordered and paid for the costume piece, Dumbo, and Sebastian once, 1 of each. I did not pay or order for 2, but I got 2 Dumbos. Literally, here's proof. We have 2 Dumbos, and then I have 2 costume pieces. So we pretty much decided that one is going to be for me to wear whenever, and the other one is going to be kept up in the closet, so that way it's protected, and because it's a material that may rip. But anyway, so I just thought that was really, really funny. To be honest, it was funny because we looked at it, and Jared was over there doing the math, and I was like, I didn't get Sebastian. He's like, I'm more concerned about the fact that you got 2 costume pieces. And I was just like, I wanted Sebastian. I did. I wanted Sebastian more than Dumbo. But I mean, now we have Dumbo. I'll give your sister the other Dumbo because she likes elephants. And yeah, I just saved about 40. No, I would say 35 because Sebastian was about $5-6. Just saved about $35.
You say save, but it's not like we were going to buy.
Hot topic, man. Hot topic, guys. Alrighty, I'm all showered and Jared and I defeated our first raid together. Got an Electabuzz. Electabuzz. Which was a lot harder for me to catch than it was for him. It was a level 2, so level 2s we've realized are a piece of cake for us. Level 3s will be the test. I think the one that we tried to do the other day was like a level 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was impossible. So it looked like it's exponentially harder.
So level 3s are our next one. Level 2s are a definite yes. But anyway, for those who don't know what the heck we're talking about, Pokemon Go. Anyway, I'm going to edit Wednesday's, or last Wednesday's video, and then I'm going to get ready for bed because it is 9 o'clock. Hopefully I'll actually get to bed before 11 because I've been going to sleep after 11 the last couple days, and I haven't been getting enough sleep. Not been getting a lot of deep sleep. Been getting a lot of light sleep, according to my fake bit, which I will be doing a review possibly Thursday because I think I would have had it for exactly a week at this point. I'm gonna do like an unboxing review when it's been a week since I've had this because I have
a week after you unbox it.
I have the video footage of it. I have opinions and things that I love about it because I am partially obsessed with it. But anyway, I'm gonna go to sleep now before I continue to ramble again. Say good night, Jared.
Good night, Jared.